here she comes, the highwaywoman. She comes with music for your soul, and then moves along. She moves along.
This is Bridget London. You're listening to the Highwaywoman radio show. And with me right now on the phone is my very special guest this week, Stevie Tombstone, who has a brand new album out called Greenwood. Hey, Stevie, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Now, where are we talking to you from? Are you in Nashville?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm playing here tonight.
You're actually playing there with a friend of mine tonight, Mr. Billy Don Burns. Is that right?
That's right. I'm excited about it. We haven't done a show together yet. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him and seeing him play.
Awesome. Now, have you been touring a lot now on this brand new album, Greenwood? That just came out.
Yeah, it came out officially October 30th.
Been able to, get out there a lot and tour on it and promote it. You seem to be having such a great reception for it already.
I've been pretty pleased with the feedback we've been getting. Started a little early. I started actually touring on the record, in September. So we're doing good, and there's plenty more to come.
This is your sixth album, right, Stevie?
Yeah.
I love all your music. I've had some of your music and played your music on the show, but I got to tell you, this is my favorite. It's wonderful, man. Wow. I
appreciate it. I had a great time making this record. It was actually probably one of the more focused projects I've had. The last two were really, I had a lot of time, put a lot of energy and attention into them, and it really paid off. Working in the right studio with the right players.
Now, are you still living in Georgia, Stevie? That's where you're from originally, right?
Yeah. I grew up outside of Atlanta. Lived there for quite a while. Now I live in upstate New York.
Oh wow! I did not know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How do you like it up there?
It's beautiful, and I always lived either in Texas or Georgia for the most part, and I never got to play the Northeast that much. So I've really been enjoying playing around up in the northeastern part of the country, and the weather. It's a little bit colder than I'm used to.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, did you record part of this album up there in New York? Then, where did you record this, Stevie?
I cut Greenwood in Syracuse, New York.
Very cool.
At Subcat Studios, and I just used players. My wife plays bass, Melissa. She's on there. Yeah, and then through her, I've met a lot of people in the area out there. That's where she's from, and so I've got a lot of great players regionally that I got to work with. And I did the same thing with Slow Drunk and Walk, the previous release. I worked with people regional to that area. I cut that in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very cool, very cool. Well, let's play a track and we'll come back and talk a little bit. I want to start out, let's feature Lucky. You want to tell me a little bit about this song, Stevie?
It's one of those songs, I always joke around, some songs take me 3 years to write, but the best ones write themselves. That's one of these. It kind of popped in my head on the way home from a trip, and I got home, and there was nobody there, and I was just sort of doing an assessment of life, real cut and dry. It wrote itself in about 5 minutes. And,
I love it.
I'm glad I stopped where I did.
Lucky by Stevie Tombstone, our guest tonight from his brand new album, folks. It's called Greenwood. Get you some. Here's Lucky.
Tonight, I'm lucky I'm still alive. Lucky that you love me still. Yeah, I know you're my rock, but I've rolled you uphill. Aside from my pride and unshakable will, I'm lucky you love me still.
And that was Lucky from my special guest tonight, Mr. Stevie Tombstone, from his new album, Greenwood. And he was just telling me that his wife plays bass and played on this album. That's very cool. And now you wrote all the songs on this album, right, Stevie?
Everything except for Goodnight Irene.
Right.
That's they're still trying to figure out who wrote that. But Lead Belly was the first person to record it.
Very cool. Now, it said that I was reading some stuff about this new album that this is kind of almost like an autobiographical journey for you throughout the last years, and this album. Maybe that's why there's such a cohesiveness about this record, and there's such a variety. I mean, I love that too. You go from straight acoustic, and then you kind of show your other side and some of the other tracks. And who are some of the biggest influences, would you say, that have shaped where you are right now as far as music goes?
Well, I started out playing, roots music when I was a kid down in Georgia. I mean, so that's been the constant theme through all the vast variations. But I think later on in life, I've gotten to work with a lot of great people, but later on in life, I've been revisiting stuff that I brushed past when I was young. I've been listening to a lot of folk music as the last few years has gone by. Just, I think part of it's, having a kid around the house and wanting to expose our child to all the different classic, forms of music. And so I think it really helps, especially on this last record. I've been picking up a lot of stuff in the area, and there's a great folk music scene up in the Northeast too. So it's, I still got my roots here in the South. It really bled over into this, so.
Yeah, you can hear a lot, even from like Dylan to deep blues. I mean,
yeah, the last two releases I've really tried to go to the core of the matter, and come up with a music, pick a flavor that fits the lyrics, so it's easier to relate to, and I think we did good on this.
One of my favorite tracks on this album is Nails. That's a hell of a track.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll play it?
Well, yeah, it's it's just it's a message to my child, or from it's not per se for me, just to my son, but it's from a parent to a child. Being worried about them getting through life and just trying to pass some advice on. But I started writing that. I started working on that song before we had our son. When my brother had his first kid, I kind of got the idea. Sort of had the concept of the song together, and then when I had my own child, it was a lot easier to finish that song.
Well, it's wonderful.
And I really wanted to have some more personal stuff on this record, so that was one of the ones that made the cut, and I'm glad it did. I really am. Great.
Yeah. Us too. All right, let's play it. This is Nails from our guest here, Stevie Tombstone, from his brand new album, Greenwood.
Ever fast and always true, like a 6 since 22, like an angel on the ground. Folks will try to put you down, be tough as nails, twice as strong, get you through this world, my son, stand your ground.
And we're back here on the Highwaywoman radio show. This is Bridget London. If you're just joining us, that was my wonderful guest, Stevie Tombstone, with the song Nails from his new album, Greenwood. Now, how long do you think it took you to put this record together, Stevie?
This is an unusual case because I started working on this record about 5 years ago. I spent a couple of winters, the first couple of winters I was in upstate, and our son was really small. I spent a lot of time writing. I wasn't playing a lot. I was staying close to home, but I was still working on the recording. So I started working on Greenwood before, right around that point in time, about 5 years ago. And then I stopped. We ended up in Arkansas. We moved there for a while, and I started working on Slow Drunken Walks there. Those songs were going to be on Greenwood, and it turned into a completely different record. So I put Greenwood on the back burner, basically, when we got, after Slow Drunken Walks was done. I wanted to get into a bigger studio to work on Greenwood. wanted to keep it stripped down, but I wanted access to more stuff, and a really good engineer. So
yeah, that always helps. Man, I can't say enough about it.
It can really help. I get in too deep sometimes.
Somebody also maybe to keep an eye on you so you don't get so lost in it that you can kind of come back around at times, Yeah. These guys did a great job, and they were very patient with me. I had the material mostly together, for the record, but once I got in the studio, that with Subcat, the studio we were working in, I always end up writing a couple of more songs while I'm in there. Once you get in the process, and I think it really has something to do with you record some of the stuff that you've got on your brain, and it's kind of you get it off your chest, and then it makes room for something else to come in. Right.
And so I'm glad we spaced these recordings out, and I got to tap into some good material there, writing wise.
Right. You write a lot, Stevie, even now?
Yeah, like I probably won't write unless I have these automatic these channeling sessions where somebody else is feeding me good material. But every once in a while I'll have one of those. But I tend to write closer to the recording process, and I just put two releases out back to back pretty much. So I'll probably give the old brain a break for a while and, and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But I write quite a bit. It tends to be closer to the maybe a year before I'm about to put something else out. I'll start working on it.
You cover such a wide spectrum with even the way you write. I mean, I'll tell you what, I think it's really cool, and yet, there is that cohesiveness because it's all coming from you, all coming from your soul, but you can kind of come from three different directions here on this album, and it all just works, and I love that there's so much depth and integrity in everything you do, Stevie, really. When you perform, now, do you perform just you and the guitar? How do you like to go out, with the band, or? Well,
most of the time it's just me. And what you hear is what you get. But on occasion, I'll play with, when I'm closer to home, Melissa will play with me. I'll have a rhythm section or a small band up there, and then I'll occasionally I'll grab somebody, I'll hook up with somebody, I'll have a side man for part of the tour, or regionally, I'll grab people to sit in with me. But most of the time, it's just me.
And more people are doing that now. I mean, this is the way I love that. I think it's great. I think that's something that was so great about the 70s, is there was so much acoustic solo stuff happening.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You can really connect better with the performer, or as a performer, you can connect better with the audience. And are you going to be touring a lot before you head back up to New York? Like, tell us what you got going on. What's happening?
Well, I'm in Nashville tonight
right.
At the end, and with Billy Don Burns and my friends Ned Van Gogh here from Nashville, and then I head down to Birmingham, Milledgeville, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina. I'm going to have an album release show in Atlanta on Sunday. Then I go home, head back up, play a few shows in Vermont. I'm going to play with Billy Joe Shaver December 2nd up there.
Woohoo!
I come home for a couple of days, and then I fly to the West Coast, and we've got some West Coast dates coming up.
Awesome.
I'm thinking we're going to be out your way in January.
Oh, great! You'll have to come back on the show. Yeah,
man. No, I'd love to.
Oh,
we're working on the dates right now, so I'll be back. I'll be down that way. I've got smart. I head south when the winter comes. So.
Now, do you hook up with Shelley Coe when you come here? That's how I found out about you a couple of years ago. Was for Shelley,
I try to. We're both parents, and it gets harder for everybody to connect, but we try to as much as we can. And I haven't seen her in a little while, but we did some shows together in the Ozarks, and had a great time. I'm hoping to see her when I come back down there.
Awesome! Well, we can't wait.
Shelley's wonderful. She's a great person and a huge talent. I can't say enough about her.
I agree with you on that. Hey, let's play another track from your new album, Greenwood. How about, now we're going to get it a little different direction here, Best of Worst Intentions. I love it. I love it all. You want to tell us a little bit about this?
There's got to be one black sheep on the record, at least. So,
I love it.
This is a good song. It's got a couple of different messages on it, but really, I mean, everybody knows this person that they've been there. It's just about somebody that's dissatisfied that they're not willing to change anything to do anything about it, and they're just okay with it. So,
right.
So, it's not a common concept, but I think everybody can relate to at least one line in this song. So
that's right.
It's more of a stream of consciousness thing, This is what I'm thinking, but I'd never say it. So, hey, that's the blues. So,
Stevie Tombstone, folks, with Best of Worst Intentions.
Creeping across my front porch lawn, I don't want to change the way things are. I don't want to be the one left out the bar. Don't leave your cards and letters by my door with the best and worst intentions anymore. Don't leave your cards and letters by my door with the best and worst intentions anymore.
And we're back here on the Highwaywoman radio show. This is Bridget London. I'm really enjoying my guest, Stevie Tombstone. I've wanted to have him on the show for such a long time, and this new record has given me a great excuse. His new album is called Greenwood. We've been playing tracks from that. He's touring around. He's in Nashville right now. He's going to be heading back up east, and you can get your copy anywhere music is sold online. And you're going to release this on vinyl, Stevie, or do you have it available on vinyl already?
We've already got it. It's for sale, and it's in production right now. We got postponed a little bit because of the hurricanes. Mm-hmm. I would say it will be in everybody's hands that ordered it real quick. We're doing a small pressing. We still got a few left. We did really good on our pre-sale, but I've got a feeling we'll keep making that available.
That's amazing. I cannot believe, which I'm excited about, but I mean, it's been slowly kind of making a comeback, but the last 2 years, vinyl sales are really, really escalating again. It's wonderful,
I'm happy.
Is this the only album you'll have on vinyl, or have you done some of your others on vinyl?
Well, I was on vinyl when that was the only form. Well, I'm sorry, 8-track was still around, maybe.
Oh, Stevie.
But as of late, this will be the only thing I have available on vinyl, but I have a feeling we're going to try to start working on my back catalog if this goes well.
Yeah, that is so cool, folks. So those of you who like to buy your records that way, you can. They said there's still a few for pre-sale, and there'll be more there. And I'm real excited that you're going to be playing with Billy Dawn tonight. You're going to have a wonderful. It's such a great match. I can't think of a better bill between the two of you together. Would just be an amazing show. And I really, really, I'm going to be at least one of your Texas shows in January. I promise. And can't wait for you to come here, man.
I look forward to it. I do.
We want to tell folks that they can check your schedule now to see where you're going to be at StevieTombstone.net.
That's right.
All right. And your new record, Greenwood, is available everywhere. How about if we go out with Just Ain't Right?
That sounds great.
Thank you so much, Stevie.
Hey, Bridget, thank you. I'll talk to you soon. I really appreciate it.
No, it just ain't right. Thought I paid my dues till I found the truth. Wasted half my youth trying to live the blues. I've been roped and tied, hung out to dry, locked out all night. No, it just ain't right.
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Bridget London, and this has been the Highwaywoman Radio Show.
Now there she goes, the highway woman, and she's brought music